Grade 12. My Mother at 66. My Mother at 66 is written by Kamala Das. Kamala Das was born in Malabar, Kerala. She is recognized as one of India's foremost poets. Kamala Das has published many novels and short stories in English and Malayalam. Some of her works in English include the novel Alphabet of Lust, a collection of short stories, Padmavati the Harlot, and other stories in addition to 5 books of poetry. She is a sensitive writer who captures the complex subtleties of human relationships in lyrical idiom. My Mother at 66 is
Aging
an
is a natural
example.
process and it will affect each one of us. The complexity of life is that children are perturbed by the condition of their parents and wish to be with them. The children cannot do away with parents. They want their valuable time with them, and as they are aging and due to other commitments, when they are unable to be with them, their heart aches for them. However, they have to leave their parents behind and move on with their commitments. The question arises how to strike a balance between looking after the aging parents and attending to one's responsibilities. Let us read the poem My Mother at 66. Driving from my parents' home to Cochin last Friday morning, I saw my mother beside me, doze mouth, her face ashen like that of a corpse, and realized with pain that she was as old as she looked, but soon put that thought away and looked out at young trees sprinting, the merry children spilling out of their homes. But after the airport security check, standing a few yards away, I looked again at her, when pale as a late winter's moon, and felt that old familiar ache my childhood's fear was. See you soon, Amma. All I did was smile and smile and smile.
Let us understand the poetry. The poet is pained and shifts her attention outside the car in order to drive out the negative feelings. As the poet is driving and her mother is sitting beside her, she is observing her mother very closely. She could see that her mother was dozing off in the car with her mouth wide open, and she resembled a corpse. Corpse means a dead body, and her pale face made the poet realize that she was quite grown up now and she seemed to be lifeless. She thought to distract herself by looking outside the car, and as she looked outside the car, in order to drive out the negative feelings, she could see that there were many children merrily playing outside, and those merrily playing children symbolize life, youth, and vitality. The poet here is reminded of her own childhood when her mother had been young, whereas now she is encircled with the fear of losing her, and that has made her feel insecure and painful. She is grieving all those moments that she has spent in the past as she could not cherish them again, and she is at the airport to take a flight, kids, departure, and separation, which creates melancholy. As she bids goodbye to her mother, the image of the old, when worn out mother in the twilight of years strikes her again. She recollects the memories of her past when she used to see her mother young, energetic, enthusiastic, and cheerful, and she used to find it very pleasing when she used to be with her mother. But now, as she is separated from her mother, she cannot hide her feelings, but she is striving hard to conceal her feelings. And again, a simile is used to compare her mother with a late winter's moon whose light is obstructed by fog and mist. As she looks old now, her personality is affected by it. it. Here, the word a late winter's moon symbolize that the mother is old, aged, and cold as white moon. Her personality has been covered with dullness like a fog and the poet is feeling the pain of separation as she is leaving her mother and going away. Also, her childhood fear of losing her mother, which she feels that earlier was temporary but now could be forever. As a child, she always used to think what would happen if from her mother, but now, as a grown up girl, when she is thinking about her feelings of childhood, she feels that that separation in the childhood was temporary, but now, as she is going to move away, the separation could be permanent, as she would not be able to see her mother again once she returned back home. She bids farewell to her mother and, keeping her hope of seeing her again alive, says, "See you soon, Amma." She hides her sorrow as she does not want to create a painful environment for her mother, and she conveys her feelings for her by saying goodbye. Now, the poem, as we know, highlights the journey of life. It presents the two aspects, life and death. The poem revolves around the theme of advancing age and the fear that adheres to its loss and separation. It is a sentimental account of the mother's approaching end through the eyes of the daughter. The seemingly short poem touches upon the theme of filial bond between the mother and daughter, smeared in the backdrop of nostalgia and fear. In this poem, the poet, who is full of pain and grief, is unable to capture the moments of her past as she is feeling nostalgic because as a child she used to cherish the moments spent with her mother, but now as a grown up girl, it is difficult for her to think about those cheerful memories, and the moments that she is spending now is not going to last for long, and the separation could be permanent one. As the poet feels that when her mother would be away